Hey guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books! Okay, so I wanted to do something a little different today, a little fun for me, a little fun for you, and so I thought, I always do all these book haul videos, but they're always very expensive. A lot of people have commented on it that they can't afford those kind of books, and that they can't go out and spend $60 to $100 a month in books, or that the library doesn't have the books that they want, on and on and on. And so, I totally relate to that, you guys. I mean, when I look over how much money I've spent just since I started BookTube, it's really expensive, and it's kind of out of control at this point. And so I thought, I love to buy books. I want to go out there and, find things that I like and have them on my bookshelf so that when I have a book I want to go to, it's there, those kinds of things. But I don't know where to do this and how to find it to find cheap books. So I'm going to teach you guys today how to have a really big book haul, if you enjoy that, for a very small amount of money, okay? Or what I consider as a small amount of money, but I think that you will too. Basically the price that it would cost you to go to Taco Bell, okay? So for the price that it will cost you to go to Taco Bell, I'm going to teach you how to do a very large book haul. So here we go. Are you ready? And let me tell you a little bit of the background story to this. I love to go thrift store shopping. I always have, ever since I was in high school. When I was in high school, if you had seen me, I would have had like a Blacksmith's t-shirt on and some Holy jeans and like big Doc Martens, and I was obsessed with old sport coats. I wore old sport coats every day in high school, tweeds and blues and blacks and whites, and I had a red one that I loved, and that was kind of just my go-to style. So for years, I've always shopped at thrift stores. Can you see? And what's funny is the one shirt that I have on that I actually did get from a thrift store is Lucky brand, so it's not very thrifty and vintage, because I love vintage clothes. And my favorite is when you go to a store and it's eclectic and vintage and very colorful. And in Indianapolis, where I live, thank God there's a store here, and it's called Broad Ripple Vintage. It is adorable. The people that own it are very, very friendly. You go in, they are always playing The Doors live, which I love. And so it just is everything for me. But they don't have books. And so I was like, I'm going to go on a little book thrifting shopping experience today, because I want to see if I can go and buy books that I would actually want to read for not a lot of money. So, but before I do that, let me show you just a couple of my favorites here. So here's one of my favorite t-shirts I got a few years ago. Looking good. Looking good, looking good. I love these ringer tees, And then, this is not actually from a thrift store, but I just had to show it. It's my mother's from back in the day, a Dylan and the Dead from the live concert in Chicago. And then, let me show you what I'm absolutely obsessed with as far as thrift store shopping, is old Western shirts. This is the only one that fit. That's why I'm wearing the Lucky brand one. But it has to have the pearl buttons. Do you see? I love the pearl buttons. And I don't like to go to a store and buy them brand new. This one's brand is called VIP, and I think it was $7 or something. But I love that stuff. But let me just tell you that my best find ever was $20. And look, it is this black biker jacket that I have. But let me tell you what is so fabulous about that. Look at the shoulders. Do you see? And then look at the arms. And this is a jacket that you should wear if you're reading The Outsiders, don't you think? Can't you just totally see me reading The Outsiders? Smoking a cigarette, drinking some coffee, because I don't drink. So anyway, that is my thrifting, my obsession with thrifting. So I today was okay, so I'm gonna go to the thrift store, and so let me just tell you my experience. So I first went to this thrift store where I knew the books would be super cheap, right? And the books there were super cheap. Their children's paperbacks were 10 cents. All other paperbacks were 25 cents, and hardback books were 50 cents. So it was really cheap. But the choices were not great. They had, I think, 5 copies of Sarah Palin's book, and I have no desire to read that book. Or they had, Debbie McComber books, and lots of romances, lots of Daniel Steele, which, if that's what you like to read, more power to you. I'll tell you where the thrift store is. You can go get them for 50 cents. But that's not what I wanted to read. And so I was a little disappointed. And then the books that I did find that I wanted to read, they were just in such horrible shape that I was I don't know that I would want to own this book or read this book even for 25 cents. It just was in bad shape. So I left there, and then I was real disappointed, because what I originally was going to do was the scavenger hunt thing, right? So then I went to the library, off screen for a second, and I was looking around, and I have been looking at the library forever for that book, A Little Life, and it's always like out, and I don't want to be on a list and all that kind of stuff because that's too much trouble for me. So when I was there, I picked up The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and look, it's like brand new. Like nobody's even read this book. I'm so excited about it. I've never read it. I've heard a million things that are awesome about it. I cannot remember who the booktuber is. I cannot remember her name, and I absolutely love her with the gray hair, but it's like her favorite book of all time. So I'm super excited to read that. And then I just happened to pick up this book called Local Girls by Carolyn Zancan because it was right next to where A Little Life should be. And it's about these girls that are friends, and they graduate from high school, and they live outside of Orlando, Florida. It's a very summary book, and it takes place in one night, and I'm really excited about that. So anyway, and it's not a young adult book. It's like a movie star comes into town. It says Last Night on Earth, and it's kind of like how they figure out like their friendships fell apart through the years and stuff like that. So I'm super excited about that. Price of these books, $0, library card. So right now our price is at $0, okay? Then I went to Goodwill, and I was actually going to this Goodwill that I know where it's at, and I go there sometimes to buy jeans and make them into jean shorts because I love ripped jean shorts. So anyway, but on the way there, I stopped and I was like, oh my God, there's a Goodwill there, and I didn't know where a Goodwill was, and I didn't know it was there. So I went in. The paperbacks there were 69 cents for children's paperbacks, 99 cents for adult paperbacks, and $2.49 for hardbacks. So you know I was trying to just kind of keep it to the paperbacks, right? So let me tell you the things I found there. First, I found Elie Wiesel's Night. I've never read this book. I think it was assigned in my death and dying class in college, and I just didn't read it. So I've never read this. I've always wanted to read it. And yeah, so I got that. That was 99 cents. And then I got Armistead. Oh, did I just like shatter the camera because I hit it with the book? Sorry. My apologies. Anyway, then I got Armistead Maupin's Tales of the City. And I actually put this on my video for my A to Z of LGBT books. But the truth is, I saw the very first like installment on the movie of BBC, but I never read the books. Okay, so what's funny is I found this on one bookshelf. And do you guys see like what great condition these books are in? Like this book is literally like, it looks like it's never been read, okay? So 99 cents. So I got this book, and then I went down further, and there 3 in a row, they had the rest of the books in the series. And so like, if I like it, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get it, 99 cents. So then the next book that I got, are you ready for this? Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Everybody's probably correcting me right now. I'm right now in the Chamber of Secrets, so I know I'm gonna need this next. I think I paid $8.99 or $10.99 at Target for the paperback that looks just like this. Look, it looks like nobody's read it. It's almost perfect. And it's book 3, and I'm so excited. So, 99 cents, and I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, the next book that I got was Hoot by Carl Hiaasen. Okay, so I have read tons of his adult mysteries. If you haven't read Carl Hiaasen, he writes like mostly books. I can't remember what some of them are. Striptease and oh shoot, what's the one that takes place in Miami that I just read? It's so funny. But anyway, he writes books that are like mysteries, but funny mysteries, and they always take place in the South, typically Florida. This book is his young adult book, like middle grade, I think. And I've never read it, and so I've always wanted to read it, and I'm super excited about it. I think they made it into a movie as well. 99 cents, and I'll explain to you why in a second. Okay. Then the next book I got, and I know everybody's gonna be like, did you really get that book? But I love like travel memoirs, and I've never read this book, and I've never seen the movie. So I got Eat, Pray, Love. It's a brand new copy. I've never read it. I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna watch the movie. And if they're both horrible, I apologize. But so anyway, then the next book I got is Jerry Spinelli's Maniac McGee. Okay, what is so funny about this book is I had just seen it at Barnes & Noble, and it's like the 20th anniversary of it. And so I was so excited when I saw it look, almost brand new copy. When I saw this at Goodwill. And I think, let me see when it came out. It originally, first edition, blah, 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 blah. You guys are like, you're boring me, Peter, you're boring me, 1990. So that would be, oh yeah, it was the 25th edition because I graduated in 1990. This book came out when I was a senior in high school. So anyway, and at Barnes & Noble right now, this exact same copy is $12.99. I got it for 99 cents. Why, you may ask? Because it's a children's paperback. I'll explain in a second. Okay, so the next book that I got, this is so funny. Okay, so everybody knows, I've been talking about this on my video. I've been reading Raymond Carver's short stories. Okay, here was the deal in going to this thrift store buying thing. I did not want to just buy books that I was like, oh, this looks fun, or hey, I might want to have that, or blah, 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 whatever. I wanted to buy books that I knew that I wanted or had been on like my to-buy list or other people had mentioned before, because it would be really easy to go into a thrift store and just pick out 10 books and pay like $5 or $10 for it, but are they books you really want to read? Excuse me. So I wanted to make sure that they were books that I really, really wanted to read, right? I mean, I'm not going to waste my money on it. And so I had just, okay, sneak. I had been talking about the Raymond Carver short stories Cathedral, and somebody said on one of my comments, so whoever you are out there, thank you so much, did you ever see the movie Shortcuts? Because it was based on the Raymond Carver short stories. And I was like, oh my God, seriously? And I'd never known that. And I love that Robert Altman movie so much. Oh my God, Julianne Moore in that movie. Fabulous. Anyway, so I'm there, and guess what? I'm looking through Goodwill, and what do they have? Shortcuts by Raymond Carver. The short selected stories by Raymond Carver. I could not believe it. 99 cents. And it was a book that I wanted that I would have probably paid $15 for. Okay, then the next book, another funny one, brand new, has the 20% tag on here from Target. I have been wanting to read Joan Didion for so long, and this is her, The Year of Magical Thinking. I am so excited to read about her, or to read her book. She's an essayist, if you don't know. She is fantastic. She's been writing forever. I'm super excited about this. From one of America's iconic writers, a stunning book of electric honesty and passion, Joan Didion explores an intensely personal yet universal experience, a portrait of a marriage and a life, in good times and bad, that will speak to anyone who has ever loved a husband, a wife, or a child. I mean, this book is so cool, and if you don't know, like a year ago, she came out and they did like this ad campaign. This is not why I love Joan Didion, but partly kind of. And it just has, she has her gray hair tucked behind her ears, and she's like 75 or 80 now, and she's in like a black turtleneck, and she's a huge pair of Celine sunglasses on, and so she's like the ad for Celine now, which I think is cool at her age, right? So anyway, and then you guys will love this one. I bought The Collector by John Fowles. 1,500,000 copies sold, and I don't know why I bought this book, but it's about this guy in an English cottage. Somebody out there has probably read this book and is like dying laughing right now. And he keeps this girl there, and it's like very sadistic, and I like kind of thriller reads, and so I thought, well, that'll be a fun summer read, and I want to read something that's kind of like out of a genre that I wouldn't normally read. Let's read what the Kansas City Star says. Overwhelming. It will keep you reading all night. A masterpiece, a flawless performance. So I cannot wait to read this. Okay, so let me just tell you about my bills. Okay, so I pay, and it is $9.53, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I got such a deal, right? So I leave, and then I'm like, oh, well, I still want to get some more books. So I go to the other Goodwill, and I walk right in, and I get brand new copy of Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella. I'm gonna read Finding Audrey. I think this is more like a romance or something. Like, I don't know. It looks kind of really cute. She's cute, don't you think? So anyway, I'm really excited about this. I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of it, but I was like, I'm gonna buy that. So I bought that, and then I bought Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn because everybody has told me to listen to this on Audible, and it's really short, so I'm not wasting my Audible credit on it. I want to read it. Plus, I loved Gone Girl, so I think I'll like this as well. I'm running out of time, but I want to get to my last favorite book. And then I picked up Beautiful Children by Charles Bach. It's a little bent on the corner, but for 99 cents, I think I can live with it. I don't know what it is. It's like this about these teenagers in Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. It's one of my favorite cities next to Miami. Have you guys read this book? It looks really cool. It looks kind of very, yeah, you know. I don't know. It looks good. But let me tell you what made the whole trip. Do you guys know what a huge Brent Hardiger fan I am? That he wrote The Geography Club. So I'm standing there looking through the hardback books, $2.49 at Goodwill. And I saw one of his very first books, The Last Chance Texaco by Brent Hardiger. Are you ready? And the cover is gorgeous, you guys. It is a brand, okay, I open it, you are gonna die. I have talked to Brent on the phone. He helped me with my book that I wrote. He is unbelievable. I adore this man. I think he's awesome. Can you imagine? I mean, I literally in Goodwill, I went, ah, like that. And people like looked at me like, what the hell just happened? It is signed, you guys. I got a signed copy of a Brent Hardiger first edition for $2.49 at Goodwill. I could not believe it. So the whole trip was total. I couldn't even got that at Barnes & Noble. The whole trip was totally made it. So anyway, and then that receipt came to $5.84. Now let me tell you the little cheat about this, okay? Is that at the first place I noticed where I have like 3 or 4 children's novels that were supposed to be 69 cents, she charged me 99 cents. So altogether, if you add them up, it comes to, I already did, a $15.37. But if you take away the 30 cents difference, so 30 times 30 is 90, minus 0.99 cents, it comes to $14.47, which, if you think about it, is really like one large pizza from Papa John's, a lot less than that, actually, or like a Locos Tacos box from, did I pronounce that wrong, at Taco Bell and a beef supreme or something, you know? That's not even what I get. I get a Nachos Bel Grande, 2 cheesy gordita crunches, and a large Diet Pepsi or Diet Dr. Pepper if they have it. That's what I love from Taco Bell. But still, you can get all these books for cheaper than that, and I loved it. So you guys go do your thrift store haul, let me know what you get, and comment below. It's really cheap and it's really fun, all right? And I'm gonna do another video on how you can get a lot of books for really cheap other ways. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.